Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about Wolves, directed by Jon Watts and starring George Clooney and Brad Pitt. Wolves is a crime comedy that leans heavily on the duo's chemistry and offers genuine humor and stylish visuals. Quick heads up, this review may contain the occasional spoiler, but I'll do my best to avoid them. The story kicks off with District Attorney Margaret accidentally killing a young man in her hotel room. In a panic, she contacts a fixer to manage the situation. Complications arise when another fixer arrives, revealing that both were independently hired to handle the same incident. As the two lone wolves are forced to collaborate, they uncover a deeper drug trafficking problem, a not-so-dead victim, and power struggles with Albanian and Croatian crime syndicates. The narrative unfolds over a single chaotic night in New York City, and it's a fun blend of action, comedy, and mystery. I had a great time with this movie. If it had been released in theaters, then I would have been seated. It's a shame this movie was released directly to Apple TV+. It reminded me so much of 2022's Bullet Train, and it's definitely one of last year's most underrated gems. I really love the professional differences between Clooney and Pitt's characters. Clooney remains unnamed, but his character is much more meticulous and professional. He's the kind of guy you hire because you trust him. On the other hand, Pitt's character Nick is much more flamboyant and improvised. He's the kind of unprofessional guy you hire because you like him. Clooney is very suave and Pitt is very irreverent. It's a great contrast of personalities. I also love the rivalry between both characters. Their forced collaboration is the highlight of this movie. Their interactions are chock full of witty banter and one-upmanship. Their dynamic reminds me a lot of the dynamic between Bloodsport and Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad. There's nothing quite like a good rivalry, and when paired with Austin Abrams' kid, there is a lot of humor and depth. The kid is very naive and endearing and helps propel the chaotic events in the film. Driven by a desire to help a friend, he entangles everyone in a crime web. However, the interesting thing about the kid is how he evolves the fixers throughout the movie. His earnestness gradually breaks their hardened exteriors to the point where they actually care about his life and safety. Other cast members like amyryan, Purna Jagnathan, and Richard Kind are all great. This film has a pretty distinct flair to it, and I loved it. New York City is always a wonderful setting. I love the neon lights and snowy backdrop. They provided a stylish setting that complemented the noir-inspired aesthetic. Whether it's Chinatown or a diner or a club, there are lots of good and fun setting varieties in this film. This is an atmospheric movie, and again, there's just something about neon lighting that hits. The soundtrack is fun and also matches the suspenseful motifs and lighter cues. I can't remember any track in particular, but overall, I enjoyed the music. Now, before I wrap up, I do want to mention that this movie has some slight flaws. I would have loved to get more world building. For example, I would have loved to see more from the crime syndicates like the Croatians. I think fleshing them out would have added some more tension and drama to the film. I also think it would have been nice to see some of the behind the scenes for the fixers. Imagine there's an entire network of fixers, just like in John Wick, there's an entire network of hitmen. I think that's a cool thing to think about. Lastly, I like the plot twist ending, but I don't know if it makes up for the lack of a solid shootout, guns blazing climax. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this movie was building towards that, and when I didn't get that, I was a little let down. Not a lot, just a little. I still had a really good time with this movie, and for the most part, it was paced really well. Running for just an hour and 48 minutes, I don't think this movie had much, if any, fluff to cut out. So it gets a thumbs up from me. Wolves isn't trying to be a big crime epic. It knows exactly what it is, a slick, stylish, and sharply funny ride that thrives on the chemistry of its leads. While it doesn't quite stick the landing with the grand final showdown or deeply layered criminal underworld, it more than makes up for that with its characters, humor, and energy. George Clooney and Brad Pitt are clearly having a blast, and Austin Abrams adds a surprising amount of heart and levity to the mix. Jon Watts directs with confidence, keeping the pacing tight and the tension playful. It's not revolutionary, but it's thoroughly enjoyable, and sometimes that's all a movie needs to be. If you like character-driven banter, neon-drenched nights, and a little chaos wrapped in a crime comedy, Wolves is well worth your time. If they ever make a sequel, I will be the first in line. Thank you for listening to my review of Wolves. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego, and I will see you next time.